Now the aforementioned Sandra Smith, co-anchor of America Reports, and Steve Moore from Committee to Unleash Prosperity Hotline and host of More Money on WABC Radio. All right, Sandra, you started this with me a couple hours ago. That's my entire discourse on the subject of a Fed interest rate
goose. Which was fabulous, by the way. And I sent you this piece, a multi-page write-up in Yahoo Finance, chock full of Democrats saying interest rates are too damn high. Yeah. They want those interest rates to come down, and they want to do it by raising this inflation threshold. Right? It's becoming very popular on the left. I don't know who it was. Ayanna Pressley, the Democratic Congresswoman. Interest rates are too damn high. Oh, here's Maxine Waters. I think it should be higher than that, the inflation target for the Fed. I think.
And Biden
that doesn't sound like an economic calculation.
And Biden was jawboning the Fed, which presidents are not supposed to do, but some do. So he was basically saying, come on, boys and girls.
And by the way, when we covered Jerome Powell in that hearing this week, let's see. 7 times in his 5-minute opening remarks, he insisted that he very strongly signaled to this market that the 2% inflation target is not going anywhere. So, I mean, look.
No, that's good.
We had this conversation
on our show this week. But he's manning up. He's discovered his big boy pants.
But you've got people like Robert Wolf. Robert Wolf was on with Steve Moore on America Reports this week, and he said, no, you know, he looks at it and he thinks it's time.
3%,
time to go to 3. Yeah.
You see that, though, the calculation, you take $1,000 and you run it out 20 years at a 3% inflation rate, you basically lose almost half of your money. Even at 2%, you lose a third of your money. And that's no bargain either. And I think that's an interesting point. Whatever happened to price stability?
Right. Well, first of all, what they want to do is what I call dumbing down the test. You know, they can't get down to 2, say, oh, well, 3 is the target. Look, I'm actually comfortable with 2%, you know, because you don't want to have deflation. So you've got a little cushion there to make, because the worst thing is actually deflation. But we're a long way from deflation. We haven't had that in a long time. I agree with you. The solution is not to dumb down the test and say you're going to, because by the way, if you increase it to 3%, then you're going to have 4 or 5%. You know, I mean, you're always going to have that.
The next step will be 4, and after that 5.
Then the question is, how do you? And by the way, you are spot on correct, Larry. I've been following those statistics just as you have. I'm very concerned about the commodities index. I mean, 30% increase in commodities. That's a lead indicator for where prices are going. So how in the world,
soaring.
The Fed, I mean, remember
the CPI is soaring in the last 3 months. Not just 1 month, but 3 months. The CPI has taken off. Right?
Do you remember?
Hang on. 1 minute. What will Donald Trump say if the actual inflation numbers are coming in at 4 or 5% or 6%, and the Fed starts cutting rates to goose the Biden economy? What do you think Trump would say?
Wow.
Seriously, as an objective
no
observer,
one can ever predict that.
What will he say?
But I'm sure it would be interesting. He would go ballistic.
Ballistic.
No,
He'll go ballistic. And he'd be right.
He'd be right to.
He'd be right to go ballistic.
Remember when Powell was raising rates?
Yes.
When we had people forget under Trump's presidency, the inflation rate was in, you know, basically it was 1 to 3%. It was
1.5% for 4 years.
Oh, wait, so
practically, yeah. So the point is, why would they be raising rates when you've got 4% inflation right now?
Or why would they
cutting them? You know, I don't know.
Why would they be cutting rates at 4?
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, okay, if it would ruin the Fed's reputation.
It would.
It would embroil them in presidential politics on the campaign trail, because Mr. Trump would be absolutely right to blast off on them. Absolutely right.
But could they somehow spin that to make the case that they were looking more closely at employment and there were indications there that they had to make this? Okay, I'm just throwing that out there. But did you just make your own? Having fun with you. But did you just make the case for raising the threshold? I mean, did you just make the case? The commodities, I mean, have they sort of bottomed out? Will they ever return to those lows we once saw?
I'll go back. Breitbart's John Carney and I have talked about this. There is a non-zero probability that the next Fed move could be a rate hike.
I think that's
non-zero. It's not likely. It's not, but it could be. Larry Summers, who, by the way, was dead right 3 years ago about the inflation threat and said this Fed should stop worrying about climate change and woke social policies and focus on inflation, which
Jerome
they
Powell
didn't.
said that this week. He said he believes that they can achieve this target in a matter of months. So he's
you mean the 2% target?
Yes.
Yeah, I doubt that, because we're not headed to that right now.
I'm just saying.
By the way, do you remember the Fed chairman who really kept an eye on commodity prices? It was Paul Volcker.
Paul Volcker.
Yeah. And that's how
Wayne
he was
Angel
watching.
And Manley Johnson and Robert Heller, and then Wall Street jockeys like myself urging them on, because that was real price level stability. And the Fed should do that now, by the way. These are warning signals.
Can I make one other quick point?
Yeah.
I want the people at the Fed to go to the grocery store. I want them to buy a car. I want them to pay for their energy bills, because you just get a totally different perception of what's happening with prices, right?
Because it's really easy for any mom at home who went to the grocery store today to know that she buys the same basket of 15 items, and she knows that's costing her $125 today. It was probably $95.
2 fries and a milkshake at McDonald's cost Rich Lowry $17.
Whatever happened to the dollar menu?
You had to use the editor of National Review. Two fries and a milkshake. And there was no, what is it called? Shrinkflation. The only shrinkflation is Joe Biden's polls.
But when you've got credit card interest rates at 20.75%, and you have 45% more credit card debt today than you did when Biden took office, just in a 3-year period, you got problems.
Steve Moore from the Committee to Unleash Prosperity Hotline. Household worth, which is a very important measure. It's everything you own. Houses, stocks, bonds, cash in the banks. Okay. Looked like a good number, but when you deflate it for the Biden inflation, it turns out under Biden, wealth only went up less than 1%.
Wow.
Under Trump, it was up 28%. That's a big story of this election. That's like real wages falling under Biden and rising under Trump. And the other one from the Committee to Unleash, real stocks using the S&P 500, deflate stocks for inflation, so you have real stock prices under Biden plus 7% in 3 years, under Trump at the same, up 36%. So really a couple of interest rate cuts will have no meaning whatsoever on any subject. I mean, that's the bottom line here.
Well, Trump was not just the working class president, which he was, but he was also good for investors. And you need more investment, you want a higher return on investment. I want to make one other quick point. You made it, but it deserves amplification. You want to bring inflation down? I think the most important thing...
I know what you're going to say.
You know what I'm going to say?
Stop spending.
You know what I'm going to say.
Stop spending.
Government spending.
Cut government spending.
Biden is a blowout. $7.3 trillion.
You know, you've been saying that.
$7.3 trillion.
You've been saying that for years. You've been saying that absolutely for years. I like it, though, cutting spending. That's better than worrying about the deficit.
And it's also better.
And by the way, if you tax everything that moves, you will choke off supply-side incentives, and that's inflationary, too. I got to get out. Steve Moore, terrific stuff. Sandra Smith started this a couple hours ago, and that's the whole point. Happy Friday. And we are delighted to have her on the show. Be sure to catch Sandra, along with her co-anchor, John Roberts, on America Reports every day at 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox News.